So, presentation for the winner of the Ladbrokes hurdle. Mark Walsh getting his little piece of glassware there. It's Nicola McGeady of Ladbrokes and Vogue Williams making the presentation to Charles Burns and Frank Berry as well. Congratulations to all the connections of a very worthy winner. Off you go, winner of the Ladbrokes hurdle. Okay, now I think Envoi is a good thing in the next, Brian. What does the market say?
Thank you, Hugh. It's 11-8 on favourite Envoi. Dylan, of course, came to the race with a huge reputation, was sold by the top veterinary surgeon Walter Connors at the sales at Cheltenham. You can see here in the ring, 11-8 on, and it's 6-1 bar for this Madison Grade 2 huge pot, 87,500. Let's chat to Ray Mulvaney. Ray, what's the business been like?
Business is good crowd, good best jockeys in the country, so it's a great 2 days. I have to say, you have to commend Paco and Leopardstown.
Off you go. Was he popular in the market?
Yeah, very popular. Losing race. I've had 3 losing races so far, but we're still happy trying to get this. I think this will probably win. However, it's short enough for me to lay. I'll take a chance and get him beat.
That's Ray Mulvaney, of course, his man Pat Mulcahy with him as well. They're calling 6-4 on. Dave Lawn is with me. The Norris brothers, of course, need no introduction. Lads, you're good students of the form book. Envoi 6-4 on favourite. Oh, well, that price should be a layer.
Yeah, you would be, Brian, but he deserves to be that price on his impressive bumper wins and his point win, you know. Like, I doubt this Mount Leinster is Willie's best bumper horse. You'd like to see something stronger than the form. He disappointed there over Christmas, so... There's one or two other. Gordon has a couple. Neptune has a chance the way he won here. I was impressed with Abracadabras in Galway. Just got on top in the finish, but I think there's more to come from him.
Interesting, and they'd be following the form. Dave Lawn, come with me. Those boys never take their head out of the form book, and that's why you always have to listen. Who are going here? 6-4 on as well. Track Sports 11-8 on. The Graham brothers here. You can see take 6-4.
Take 6-4. That's a good thing.
You're calling him like your dad used to call him.
You have to, Brand, at these sort of prices. You have to try and get them in. Other competitive bumper. Gordon's horses are in flying form, but at the prices at these meetings, you just never know what's going to happen.
The betting ring, of course, I always encourage people at home when you're coming racing. It's vibrant and it's very much part of racing.
Oh yeah, I mean, racing wouldn't be anything without the betting ring. When you see the crowds of the people coming for a day like today and the betting, they're supporting the racing as well, which is fantastic. So, you know, we've given a little out in the first couple of races, but we hope to get a little back with the next 4 to go.
What's fancied?
Men's fancied, Envoi Allen's fancied. I think Le Richburg's fancied as well. So by the looks of it, the way the money's going, it's going to be hard for us to win. But we've always a chance when we have these big days, the Grade 1s. Everything's off with our lives, and we'll be hoping that maybe we get 1 or 2 of them beaten.
Time will tell. The betting ring always come to when you come racing.
Yes, Brian having a great walkabout there, and I've had a walkabout, and here who I've bumped into, of course, Vogue Williams. Vogue, you were DJing here last year, but what brings you here today?
This year, you know, I've just been brought for a day out with Ladbrokes, and I brought my mum along, and we just like to get dressed up for the races. I have been betting, and I've been losing so far. So, Kate,
it does happen.
Tips. Kate Harrington has given me my next tips. If I keep losing, it's her fault.
Yeah, we'll blame Kate. We'll blame Kate. Yeah, what was the next tip? I'm being asked to ask you. What's the next tip?
The next tip was Neptune for me, so I'm going to go for Neptune.
Now, we see you all over our screens. I've been enjoying looking at Theodore. First of all, how is Theodore, your new little boy?
Theodore is great. He's actually at home with my auntie right now, so it's her first time babysitting him, and I think she's getting along okay.
Never easy. What about the travel show? Because you were involved with that with Tommy Bowe whizzing around the place. Is that coming back?
The travel show, I'm not 100% sure. I would say it would. People are more jealous of the fact that I'm working with Tommy Bowe rather than me going on holidays, but he is a great co-star. We all get on really well, which is great because you are away with these people for a week, so we're good pals.
So what is happening with Vogue for the next few months?
The next few months is really, really busy. I'm doing a lot of commercial jobs. I've also got, I'm talking to RTE about a new project, hopefully the travel show, and then other things I'm not really, I hate that we're saying, but I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but I'm busy.
But you're amazing because you're never afraid to put yourself out there and do risky things. You mean you've tried all sorts of weird and wonderful things, haven't you?
I do, but I mean, if you're in this industry and you get offered to do like a crazy show, like the Jungle Show with Bear Grylls, you're not going to say no because it's something that you'll never get to experience on your own. So I kind of just jump at the chance of things like that.
How tough was that?
That was quite difficult, to be honest, because you're 12 days in a jungle, but as it goes on, you get more and more used to it. And then, I mean, I did Dancing with the Stars in Australia. I'm an awful dancer. I thought I was good until I watched it back. And then another one that I loved doing was the jump, which was incredible, but unfortunately I got injured for that, but I still got to learn so much with skiing.
You're a very brave lady. Well, listen, you enjoy the rest of the day.
I will. I'm off to win, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully you'll get a few quid. And look forward to seeing you again, Vogue.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Here's Brian.
Yes, on we go, runners and riders. You can see the rails bookmakers behind me. Great atmosphere here at the Dublin Racing Festival. And don't forget, we're here again tomorrow for the Unibet Gold Cup. It's all happening thick and fast here at Dublin this weekend. And of course, when we come off here, we also have the big action down in Gaelic grounds, of course, in Limerick and Tipperary for hurling fans later on this evening. 10 runners for our upcoming bumper. It's the Madison Irish National Flat Race. The bumper normally at the end of the programme, but Leopardstown buying a bit of reinsurance because of the frost, and full marks to them for their foresight in making it happen. The Madison Flat Race, 1 Envoi Alan, Jamie Codd, Gordon Elliott will train. He's the odds-on favourite. 2 Abracadabra, Lisa O'Neill. 3 Ash Hill, Derek O'Connor. 4 Beacon Edge, Mark O'Hare. Embittered is Tom Hamilton. Number 5, 6 Meticulous, Barry O'Neill. 7 Mount Leinster is Patrick Mullins. Finian Maguire rides Neptune for Dermot Weld and Dr. Lamb. Declan Lavery's aboard Run Wild Fred for Gordon Elliott. And number 10, Ebadali, is Dennis Hogan, your trainer. Your jockey is young Harry Swan. There's colours here: Cheveley Park Stud, Michael Tabor and Dr. Lamb. Colours, of course, number carried to Royal Ascot Success. They're bidding to win the bumper, the Madison bumper, at the Dublin Racing Festival. Envoi Alan, 6 to 4 on.
Yes, indeed, 6 to 4 on Envoi Alan. A horse who hasn't budged in the market. I think really, you think back 40 some odd days to his listed win at Navan. That was deeply impressive. Off the back of that undefeated, scope to improve, and the market seeing Gordon Elliott rattling in the winners of races 1 and 2 here today. Points to note, I think, Brian, Mount Leinster, the Ballin Robe winner back in the autumn time, was sent off odds on here the last day at Christmas time. Maybe you could argue he was a tad disappointing, but these are early days. When you group these 10 horses together, between them, under rules, only 18 starts, so the earliest of tender stages for them. Mount Leinster, as I say, might there be a bit of value there? You can't just dismiss him on 1 run. Even when he fluffed his lines very slightly at odds on, he was still third in what looked a deep race on paper. The other one overnight did just attract a tiny smidgen of support. Joseph O'Brien later on has got Le Richebourg. Right here he's got number 6 Meticulous, who was 28 last night, into 25. Bookmakers on the course offering 20 to 1. Could we be about to see a bit of promise from Meticulous? Just a touch of support there. Other than that, a quiet market. That's due to the respect for this unbeaten number 1. Could it be a hat-trick for Team Elliott?
Cheveley Park Stud have been a famous name on the flat racing scene, and they're now getting very heavily involved in the national hunt, and they've been splashing out some big bucks. The biggest purchase of those was probably the number 1 in this race, Envoi Alan, who they gave 400,000 to was born by from the Colin Bow yard after very impressively winning his point-to-point maiden under the Bon O'Neill. Jamie Codd has since taken over the partnership, and they've had 2 bumper runs and 2 facile victories, so this is potentially a real superstar of the future. He's a big, beautiful, good-moving horse, and I'm sure he was bought with more in mind than bumpers. He could be a potential Gold Cup horse down the line, so Jamie Codd getting the leg up on him here now, and he's a fantastic looking horse, a real athlete, so there could be very good things to come, and that's what £400,000 will buy you.
Yeah, so that's our favourite, but let's have a look at the rest of the horses in the paddock as we near the start of what is the bumper, but because of the mixed card, obviously it's coming as race number 4. Number 7 on your card is Mount Leinster for William Patrick Mullins. It's been very disappointing this season, given the esteem in which Patrick holds him. We know he did think an awful lot of him. Apparently, the whispers are he hasn't worked great this week as well, which wouldn't fill you full of confidence. Faster the pace, the better his chance, so he want a good gallop today.
Next one is Embittered. Number 5 is another Fame and Glory. We already saw a Fame and Glory have a winner. He actually never won at point to point, this horse, but he won his bumper impressively for Joseph back in early December and comes here in good form.
It is Neptune. Dermot doesn't train a big string of jumpers. This fella's out of his late mother's family, half brothers at night time. Probably bred maybe a good flat horse, but he's not a bad bumper horse either. He won well enough here the last day, got a great ride off of young Finian Maguire. And I'm sure he'll run well, but I don't think he'll be good enough to beat the favourite anyway.
Horse number 2 is Gordon's horse, Abracadabras, for Lisa O'Neill on board. Just about got up to win at Galway back in October, and his first run since then, so it's quite a gap. He needs to improve from that. He's got to go over jumps next season. He's a 16-1 shot, as you can see, and it's probably hard to make a case from. Based on that last run, he might step up.
Next is Ash Hill. He's trained by Joseph O'Brien. Won a bumper here the last day with Derek O'Connor aboard. To be honest, I don't know what kind of a bumper that was. I think he's going to need a massive step up to be involved here.
6 is Meticulous, another Fame and Glory, another one for Joseph here as well too. He was 4th to Ben Rubin here in December, and he won down in Killarney. Again, I think he'll want to up his game to have a shout against the favourite here, Envoi Allen. They're all goodish horses, but this is a right good race.
Horse number 4 is an Noel Meade's horse in the race. He won at Ayr for Nicky Richards back in October, and he's now with Noel. Obviously, he clearly has ability, but maybe one for the future. He's a 25-1 shot. Let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks very much, Hugh. Noel and I are just trying to get the last bit of sun here. There's actually a little bit of heat in it. But yes, you've just spoken about Beacon Edge, and as you were saying, you don't know a whole lot about him, but he shows he's got a bit of ability there in Ayr, Noel.
Yeah, look, he won a bumper in Ayr for Nicky Richards, and he was very, very impressive. Look, obviously it's a bumper in Ayr, but the 3 behind him have all won, and I haven't really done a whole heap with him other than just sort of get him fit, and we didn't do much trials with him, and we just thought we'd pitch him in here and see how he gets on. It'll kind of give us a benchmark for him for where we're going after that.
And really great racing today, of course, and tomorrow again a fantastic card, and we're looking forward to seeing Road to Respect in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, look, we're looking forward to running them. Touchwood, everything so far has gone pretty good. We've been happy with everything, with no hiccups so far anyway. So we keep our fingers crossed now and we get a clear run.
Yeah, be great. And the horses are in good form. They're running well now.
Yeah, the horses have been running consistent for all season, and they've been running well. Anything that's good enough seems to be winning the races, and we've been happy the way things are going along. Yeah.
Best of luck in this.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Noel. See you later.
Gents, Noel Meade's, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how that horse goes. Look, I mean, the one they all have to beat here, Ted, is Envoi Allen, 400,000 after his point-to-point win. A little bit green on his first 2 runs and bumpers, but he got the job done. This is Navan.
Yeah, he was very good at Navan. This was a really good run race every step of the way, but he did it really well in the familiar colours there, the red and white of Shively Park, and he did it well. It was a good competitive bumper, and he did it well. He beat Run Wild Friend and Carefully Selected's half-brother here, who was second the bumper at Cheltenham last year, and he beat him well. This is a taken performance and a really good race, because I was there that day. I ran a horse in at Bazio, and he could never get in a blow, and he was capable of winning 2 bumpers.
Go back to his first run at Ferryhouse. I mean, the penny didn't seem to drop until nearly the last furlong, Katie, when he said, oh God, I better go and win this race now. But he clearly has huge ability.
Yeah, and it's a massive step up from his Ferryhouse run to his Navan run, because if you saw him in the rain, he's a massive beast, you know, and it's a short running in Ferryhouse as well, like, and it's very flat track, and sometimes it can happen sharp and quick, and you need to be kind of sharp and nippy, whereas in Navan you don't need to be. 3 furlongs up the straight, best horse always wins, turned in, galloped everywhere, up the line. You know, he was very professional the last day. He's the horse they have to beat by all accounts. This was a really, really, really good bumper last year. Actually, Patrick won this bumper last year on Backbow, and Rhinestone was second in it. Yeah. Do you know, I don't know, is there those, well, I mean, who knows, but this is extremely open after the top horse.
Yeah, Joseph's horse embittered as well. I know he thinks a lot of him. He looked good when he won a Punchestown at the start of December. He might be a decent shot at a bigger price, but certainly Envoi Allen, and no better man than Jamie Codd on board as well.
Oh, and Jamie, like, this is great for the point of points as well too, because a lot of these horses started their career winning point of points, and the lads who run that business need these horses to go on and win and be good horses afterwards, and a lot of them are. It's a great stepping stone. It used to be donkeys years ago, the stepping stone for good horses, and then it lost its way a bit, but in the last 10 or 15 years it's been a great nursery to the top jumpers, the point of points, and these are all, a lot of them are point of point winners.
Let's see how Mount Leinster goes here. I mean, they think a lot of him. Can he improve and hit the mark finally? We're going to find out. Tony O'Hare
off and running 2 miles ahead of them as they run the turn into the straight. Ash Hill is one of the early leaders, with Run Wild Fred. Around the outside is Envoi Allen, the favourite. Meticulous up the rail, and followed by Mount Leinster, and they're being followed by Abracadabra. Behind these is Beacon Edge. On the inside is Ebedali. and Embittered is the back marker as they come up to pass the stands with a full circuit ahead of them, and it's Ashiel and Derek O'Connor in the lead, being followed on the outside by Envoi Allen, the favourite. Alongside him is Run Wild Fred and also Neptune, and behind Neptune is Meticulous. They're followed by Abacadabra, and next is Ebedali on the inside as they run around the bend past the stands. Ashiel and Neptune in second, Envoi Allen on the outside. Then comes Run Wild Fred. They're being followed by Mount Leinster of Meticulous, and then comes Ebedali. Abacadabra is next as they head up now, having covered almost 5 furlongs, and Ashiel is in front from Neptune in second, Envoi Allen on the outside of Run Wild Fred, Meticulous on the rails in fifth. Abacadabra is next with Mount Leinster, and then Ebedali. Alongside him is Beacon Edge, and between horses at the back is Embittered. As they make the swing towards the far side, they've covered about 3/4 of a mile. Ashiel leads 3/4 of a length to Neptune in second, about half a length back then to the next pair, Envoi Allen, and alongside him is Run Wild Fred. Then Mount Leinster and Meticulous together in front of Abacadabra. After him is Embittered, and then comes Beacon Edge and Ebedali, the back marker of a closely bunched field. As they race down now past the halfway stage, and Ashiel continues to lead. Neptune is there in second in the blinkers. They're followed in third place by Run Wild Fred. Wide of him is Envoi Allen, and behind these is Mount Leinster. Meticulous next towards the inside as they cross the roadway and race towards the last 5 furlongs or so. Ashiel, the leader. Neptune is second. Then Run Wild Fred. On his outside, Envoi Allen. Then comes Meticulous and Mount Leinster. Ebedali behind them with Embittered. Racing now towards the turn at the end of the back straight. Under 5 furlongs to go. Neptune takes on Ashiel for the lead. Run Wild Fred third. Envoi Allen on the outside in 4. They're followed by Abacadabra and Mount Leinster, and then Meticulous. Behind these is Embittered, and then comes Beacon Edge, and Ebedali drops away at the tail of the field. Racing inside the last half mile now, and the favourite, Envoi Allen, moves up on the outside to take the lead narrowly from Run Wild Fred in second, and then comes Abacadabra. Ashiel has dropped back, and then comes Embittered, and then Mount Leinster as they race towards the home turn. Envoi Allen in the lead from Abacadabra, his stable companion. Just behind him in third is Embittered, but it's Envoi Allen wound up and sent on by Jamie Codd, leading from Abacadabra in second. Meticulous stays on, as does Mount Leinster. And then on the inside is Embittered, but it's Envoi Allen, the leader. Abacadabra is trying to put it up to him in second. In third place is Embittered, and then Meticulous. Envoi Allen out in front, but being kept up to his work as they've gone out through the rails there. Abacadabra as they race towards the line. Envoi Allen is going to win it. He wins it all right. 3 in the bounce for him. Meticulous is second, and it's tight for third between Embittered and also Beacon Edge, who stayed on late.
Well, they tried their very best to get at him, Katie, but he's just too good.
Yeah, he was good. I wouldn't say he was off the charts.
No.
To be honest, it was a good performance. Was it as good as his Navan performance? No.
Okay.
I think he maybe probably appreciated a bit of softer ground, but he's galloped out well. I mean, Jamie knows he gallops and he stays. He made plenty use of him across the bottom. He got up into the straight, switched back onto that inside rail, and you get Jamie with a horse on his rail and a stick in his right hand. It's just hard to get past him. But he wanted Jamie Codd on him. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have just. He wasn't anyone's.
He had to work hard.
Yeah, he did have to work hard. He had to work for it, and he did a couple of fast finishers. Lisa made a couple of stabs at him. We'll have to see the head on of that for sure. Unfortunately, she went out over the rail.
He was looking in behind him, wasn't he?
He was looking in, and she had her stick in her left hand lovely, and she was getting there, and another horse came up on her outside, and she said she thought she was halfway up on him, and she switched it through. But as soon as she did, a couple of strides later, he was out over it, you know, and the rail wasn't going to stop him, you know. Fast finisher though by Joseph as well. Barry O'Neill on the outside, another Fame and Glory horse. He was second, and it was a good bumper. We see the head on here now. You see Jamie rolls back into that rail, has a stick in his right hand. Lisa's pulling her horse out, has her stick in her left hand. 1, 2. She feels she's getting there, and then the other horse comes up on her outside. I'd say she probably thinks she's up on his backside and the other horse will carry her through, but he didn't. As soon as she hit him on his right on with her right, he switched back in and out over the rail.
Is Envoi then, is he getting a little idle in front of her there, or do you think that Jamie Codd is getting every last ounce of him?
It looks to me like Jamie Codd isn't leaving much behind. He didn't absolutely sluice up. You can't say he did. He was good, but I think he wants a bit of softer ground.
Okay. All right.
Watch you here from behind again. Watch Lisa. Lucky enough was a plastic rail years ago. There used to be the old iron rail. You'd hop off it and back out again. This old horse goes right through the rail. And Lisa gets a tear into him with her right hand. He just goes off. He lugs in behind Jamie. Gets another belt here and watch him straight in through the rail. Lucky enough, Lisa's all right. Horse is all right. Live to fight another day. Could have been nasty.
Yeah, as I said, a great run from Joseph's other horse there as well. For Meticulous, who was fourth in the bumper here over Christmas, and you know, he had to come on a bit from that, but he finished storming up. 4-6, the winner, Envoi LN. And 20-1 Meticulous in second place, and Bitter just got in for third at 10-1.
He didn't win like a 6-4 round shot. He won well, and if you backed him, you'd be glad he won. It was a tough performance. As Katie said, he needed a good ride off of Jamie, and he kept galloping well. Jamie be happy. He got an absolutely puncher of a fall there down at Limerick, and he looked like he was going to miss 3 or 4 months.
Fardlass, he punctured his lung, didn't he?
His lung and broke a few ribs and that,
but a great, huge. As an amateur, it's great to be coming here and have the opportunities and rides in days like this, and to win a graded bumper. It's hard to win graded races as an amateur. So when the opportunity comes about, it's a race that every amateur wants to win.
Mount Leinster disappointed once again. I think you can just bury all the talk about him because he's had 3 chances now.
He's a bridle horse as well too. Patrick tried to get him settled, but every time something got around him, he just ran with the choke out all the way. He's probably all right when he goes jumping. He'll be all right when he's bossing the situation, but there isn't much battling.
We'll talk to Gordon in a few minutes and find out what the plan is. We hear this week that he won't go to Cheltenham, so I mean, look, he's very good, but we might not see him at the festival. Let's go down to Andy McNamara.
Congratulations, Jamie. You kept it nice and simple there, but a fantastic horse, isn't it?
Yeah, Andy. Like it's, he really is. Like to win 3 bumpers, and it's only February. You know, he's and the size of him, he really is. He's a marvellous horse, and whatever he's doing this year, next year you're going to see a different beast altogether. He's a jumping horse for the future and a staying horse, and it's a testament to Gordon, all the gang. Sinead loves this horse. She looks after him every day, and it's fantastic. It's nice to do it on the big day here.
Ted and Katie didn't sound overly impressed with the performance up above, but I thought he really galloped through the line.
I don't really matter what other people think. He's done his job. He's won 3 bumpers as a 5-year-old. He's carrying 11-13. He's given a few pounds to everything else, and all he can do is win. So like what other people say, doesn't really matter.
And it took you nearly up until Wicklow to pull him up.
Yeah, well, that's the other side of it. Like that's what people forget. Like these horses, they win point of points. This was Walter Connors had him, gave him the Colin Bow to train. Won his point of point for him and Barry O'Neill and Ballinaboula, which is on tomorrow. The start of the 4-year-olds. Went to Cheltenham, Tattersall's Cheltenham, sold there. And he's gone to a great home in Cheveley Park in the Thompsons, bought by Tom Malone. So it's just fantastic, and it's great for these horses. We're in a vintage era for point of points at the minute. We're riding some spectacular horses, and long may it continue. It's great to be a part of it.
And Shauneen, he's an absolute beauty, a pleasure to look after.
Oh, he is, yeah, definitely. He's a gentleman.
Do you get to ride him out much?
No, Shane McCann and Davy Condon, they ride him. They look after.
Well, best of luck with him.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done to Jamie. Great to see Jamie back in full health riding, as brilliant as ever. And this fella here, training, of course, the winner there. And he was good, wasn't he? You must be pleased with that, Gordon.
Yeah, he's a big chaser in the making. He's a nice horse. Look, he had to do it the hard way. He was up there. He's a horse for 2.5 miles and probably even soft the ground, but he's a horse for the future. But really happy with him.
You're going to go for the champion bumper at Cheltenham?
Yeah, I'd imagine we will. I'd have to talk to the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, but he's a very good horse.
Great to have them as owners as well.
Yeah, we've got a nice bunch of horses for them, and Lisa was a bit unlucky. She was running a very good race. She wasn't going to be far away either, and the horse ducked out. It wasn't her fault, but one of them things.
Yeah, delighted to see her come in there, and the horse, it's not a mark on him, but it looked a bit hairy at the time.
It did at the time, but thankfully horse and jockey are okay.
Great day, keep going. Thanks, Gordon.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we now know that he's probably going to go to Cheltenham for the champion bumper, which would be fantastic. Obviously, they lost Malone Road to injury earlier this season. He's not going to run again this season, we think. But yeah, it'd be good to see him at Cheltenham take his chance and see really how good he is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see these colours as well. Cheveley Park, they're obviously more horses on the flat, but you know, they always buy a horse for the national as well, but they have a good few horses with Gordon, I think a couple of Henry and a couple with Willie as well, and you know, he was good, he was good. I just didn't think he won as his price suggests, but he's definitely, without doubt, whatever he does as a bumper horse, he's an out-and-out chaser for the future.
No, but that's what you said. You said he was very good. He just wasn't a superstar, if you like, because he had to work hard at the end. So that was the point that was made. And there's the finish at the end for third and fourth.
Jiggins down all the way there. See?
Yeah. There you go. Just about better getting there third for Joseph. That's a 2-3 for Joseph, and obviously Gordon with the winner overall. Let's go down to Tom, who has the official result.
Yes, indeed, Hugh. Good bit of housekeeping here after this Grade 2 Matheson flat race going the way of the market. It's been a good day for the punters thus far, and it's been a good day for Gordon Elliott. 3 winners already on the card. This stylish win for Envoi Allen at Navan 48 days ago, supplemented by a win here at Leopardstown this afternoon. One-way traffic for Team Elliott so far. Jamie Codd doing the steering, a length and a quarter. The margin of superiority, 4-6, if you backed him, was the starting price. Second, number 6, Meticulous. The clues were there in the market. 25 and 28 to 1 overnight. Returned at 20 to 1. Second here, Meticulous. And third, number 5, Embittered. Double figure odds, 10 to 1 was the price, Hugh.
Yeah, 10 to 1 for Embittered in third place. Now, Ted, we want to have a chat. We lost a couple of greats, and Tommy Brown, first of all, just to talk about him. He passed away recently.
Yeah, well, Tommy Brown and Jimmy Feen, two fellas that were very much part of the game. There's Tommy Brown there. He worked in Ned Goings for the last 30 years, Anglesey Lodge, until he retired there a short time ago. Tommy came to Kildare from Tipperary when he was only 14 years of age, served his time with Martin Quirk. When times were tough and lads worked for half nothing and long hours, and Tommy was a stalwart, a lovely fella. He rode Bunclody Tiger in 74 to win the Galway plate there for Kevin Bell, and he was married to Teresa all his life. They were a grand little couple, and Tommy was a lovely little man. I used to meet him every time I went down to Anglesey Lodge, and anyone that was there. Little gent is what Tommy was, and sad to see him go.
Tell us about Jimmy Feen.
Jimmy Feen was another man, a lovely man as well too. I know Jimmy all my life as well too. He was a Kildare man through and through. Married Nolene there a long time ago, and a good family he has too. 3 girls and a couple of lads, and Johnny, his son, trains. But Jimmy was in Liam Brown's as a kid. He came to Martin Quirk, Stephen Quirk,